Good day, guys. Thanks for visiting Richard's Corner. My name is Richard, and this is another haul reveal video with items from my friends over at the Value Village here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. As usual, I do a haul reveal a lot on toys and stuff like that, and I usually compare them to what I would find pricing that I would find outside of the thrift store scene, usually on eBay, and try to see whether or not I walked out ahead. Today I spent about $3.99 on this package and a whole $2.99 on this one, a little bit more Disney princess kind of thing here. So 5 plus 3, so about $8. No, sorry, 4 plus 3, so about $7 on this haul today before any tax or discount. So we're going to lay it all out on the table as usual. We're going to check out what I found and get some information as to what each of these items are and what people are asking for on places like eBay instead of going to Value Village and picking these up in packages like this. So let's see what we picked up today. So here we have everything laid out on our table here, and we've got quite a variety with some action-oriented stuff here, a little bit of Talking Tom, and a few animated features, and some classic Disney kind of stuff. But let's start off with some of the generic stuff that came in with this haul, including, whoops, just dropped Gaston. Here we go. There we are. Okay. So I have this Roman soldier and this minifigure here. Now the minifigure doesn't look like it's Lego per se. It almost looks like it might be Mega Bloks, or it could be another derivative of Lego. Might even be Lego knockoff. The legs are a little bit more translucent and a little shorter than the normal Lego minifig. He's got this scarred face. He doesn't look familiar to me. If you happen to know which minifigure this might be, that would be awesome. Just leave a comment below about it. It has a sparkly finish, which is kind of unique for minifigures, and it's got this really neat skeletal kind of style of armor. So that's kind of neat. Probably going to stay in my collection for a little while, but I have no idea who he is. As well, I have this awesome Roman soldier whose sword has been cut in the line of duty sometime. These generic soldiers I don't usually keep, but the level of detail in this is really hard to ignore. A really cool piece with just nice detailing in the clothing, like in the armor and in the shield. Here you can see the shield with the emblems here, and even in detail in the helmet here is really intricate. So for a small, tiny, generic figure, it's something to keep for me anyway. I'm not sure if you know what line of Roman soldier this happens to be, if it happens to be part of a bigger set or something like that. I'd love to find more of these, but it's probably going to stick around. I'm just not sure who it is, but those are just two more of the generic finds from this haul today. Look at that. So why don't we start off with or continue on with this awesome bendable Batman figure. Now this is not actually an old toy, this is actually a newer one. And I think in one of my previous hauls I actually hauled a Superman from the same series. And you can actually find that in these bendable figures actually at places like Winners or Marshalls or HomeSense. Near the tills they have these as one of those impulse buy kind of things, and they cost about, I'm gonna guess, about $8 or $9 retail right now. However, on eBay I did find this particular Toy Smith 5.5-inch bendable Batman in this old style Batman costume. This is actually fetching about $26 shipped, which is kind of crazy. But there are some downsides to this toy. One, I mean, like let's look at the positives first. I mean, I love this classic retro look. Just like the Superman that I hauled way back, there's like just this awesome like retro feel and look. I love the cloth cape. Although it is a kind of a cheaper cloth versus some of the nicer cloth capes that I've seen in other toys. But this particular one, just, you know, it's a really nice depiction of the old retro Batman. But the downside of these bendable figures, as stylish as they are, is that they're really hard to stand. Actually, I had it standing on, whoops, there we go. That's what I mean. Oh no, I just knocked everybody down. But that's exactly what I mean. This is a really nice figure, but it's really hard to display without some sort of support underneath the figure in the way of some sort of poster tack or what have you. So although I would recommend this as an awesome find in any kind of thrift store haul, it is very hard to display without some sort of support. But it is a really cool figure. Again, fetching about $26 on eBay. A really nice 5.5-inch bendable Batman retro style right there. Look at that. Now, of course, in many of my hauls here, I've been showing a lot of McDonald's toys, and I've found a lot of these McDonald's Sing Happy Meal toys. Sing is a movie that was way back in 2016, and the characters depicted here include John C. Reilly's Eddie. This is Eddie over here. Matthew McConaughey as Buster Moon. This is the host that's trying to save his theater by holding a singing competition. And this is Reese Witherspoon's character Rosita. This is the pig who gave up her teenage music dreams to become a devoted wife to her husband Norman in the movie. So these are awesome Sing characters. These ones do not sing anymore. Sorry for the pun, but they do fetch a little bit of a premium on eBay. Now, normally you would pay about a couple bucks at McDonald's for these if you bought them without a meal, but on eBay, some of the individual ones are going for as high as $22 each, if you can believe that. Mind you, they are probably still working and are still in package, but still asking a $20 premium for these older toys, even though it's a few years old now. It's still a little bit overpriced for my taste. But as you can see, they are very true to their animated counterparts, really well depicted, no articulation, they're just molded figures that would normally speak, but these ones are the batteries are dead. So some awesome Sing McDonald's figures from this haul today. Not a bad find considering I got them for about 40 cents a figure. That's what the math works out for all these things. 40 cents a figure versus paying $20 each on eBay. Not a bad find at all. Now, this retro-looking figure, this poor Raphael is missing his left arm, which is unfortunate. This is not an original classic one, though. This is actually a re-release. Back in 2013, they released a classic collection, releasing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look with that classic original comic look. And this one's missing his belt and accessories, unfortunately, too, as well as his arm. Normally, something more complete than this would probably fetch, well, there's one listing here for $13 plus $18 shipping. That adds up to, yeah, that's $31. So that's pretty crazy. But retro figures are usually, even retro-looking ones, usually fetch a premium on eBay and other collectors' sites. So I'm not surprised that it's asking that much. But again, this incomplete figure would probably not be worth more than a few bucks, if that, to the right collector. But I do love the awesome retro look depicted by the awesome mask and the smile here, or the grit in his expression. I love the extra veins that they put into these retro toys, which is really nice. Love the muscle tone and the really nice red and green color scheme for Raphael. So it's too bad that this one's incomplete. It's probably not worth as much as the premium figure online, but a really nice retro looking figure for the haul regardless. Look at that. Now, in a few other hauls, you've seen me haul a few of these Talking Tom figures. Talking Tom is a tabby cat and the title character of Talking Tom and Friends. Basically, a wisecracking, adventure-seeking cat that is described as the world's most popular cat, being an interactive pet via the Android virtual pet style game. So I still am trying to understand why there's enough of an appeal that they would actually made McDonald's toys. But again, you know, I don't follow every trend. But this one is the blue Talking Tom. This, believe it or not, fetches about a $19 shipped premium on eBay, which is hard to believe. But the battery is dead, at least I think it is. I'm going to see if I can turn it on. It still works. See if we can get him to talk one more time.
Why don't we go out and have some fun?
There you go. So this one is even still talking, which is kind of cool. The battery has not run out. This was a 2016 toy, so just 2 years ago now. And yeah, not a, you know, it doesn't appeal to me because it doesn't relate to me as a gamer or collector or anything like that. I've sort of missed the boat as far as playing or interacting with Talking Tom, so it doesn't really speak to me like some of the other characters do as far as animated features or what have you here. So this probably will appear into the the Overflow Marketplace in the very near future. However, I might sort of accumulate a few of them and maybe sell it as a group, so that maybe somebody that is a Talking Tom fan will get a bunch of them in one shot versus just getting individual ones. But yeah, again, it's asking a $19-20 premium on eBay shipped, and it would probably only be a couple bucks, if that, or maybe even just $1 from my Overflow Marketplace. So hopefully it finds a home in someone's collection later. But for now, Talking Tom is going to stick around until we find a few more of his brothers from the other collection. So here you go. Now, this particular Bumblebee is another McDonald's Happy Meal toy. This was actually released in 2015, about a 4-inch figure. And I actually have collected quite a few of these from not even before starting my channel. I actually was accumulating quite a few of these guys just to sort of make a little Bumblebee army. I love the idea of army building, especially when you see pictures of people who do stuff like stormtrooper displays and stuff like that, and they just have like multiples of the same figure, and it just looks really awesome. So I have maybe 3 or 4 of these. Maybe this is my 5th one, and I find it a really nice character. This is from the Transformers Prime series. As it gives it away by looking at the style of their face and body, very stylized kind of look. He does have sort of a swinging action, and this is the first time doing research on it. I didn't know that it actually had a sword. I've always seen the character by itself, but I've never seen it complete with a sword. So apparently it does come with a sword accessory. But it's still in fairly good condition, and it really is depicted fairly well. I remember Bumblebee from the Generation 1 being much more meek and a little bit more humble, yet still willing to fight. This one is much more buff and a little bit more stylized for the newer generations of Transformers. But this particular figure actually, this exact figure, loose without the sword, still fetches about a $26 premium on eBay, which is crazy. So again, my math works out to be about 40 cents or so for each figure, and yeah. Compared to paying about $26 online, I think I walked out way ahead. And this is a pretty awesome Bumblebee figure. I hope to do a follow-up with some of my army builds and sort of show you the multiples that I have and how cool it looks when you stack them all together. So there you go, Bumblebee from 2015, a McDonald's Happy Meal toy there. There you go. Now, this little guy is actually a character from the movie Epic. Now, if you've not seen it, that was actually a 2013 movie about a teenager who finds herself transported to a deep forest setting where there's a battle between forces of good and the forces of evil taking place. So she bands together with a ragtag group of characters in order to save both their world and our own. Now, this particular character is named Ronin, and this is a glider toy from McDonald's, and Colin Farrell actually played the voice of it. So this particular toy was released back in 2013. It's a 3-inch figure, and this actually fetches a $26 price tag shipped, which I cannot believe. But the leaf comes off, which is kind of cool. It has the Epic logo on there. And yes, it's Epic the movie, not Epic like the slang. This is epic. No, it's not like that at all. This particular Ronin character has no articulation. It is a fixed figure. Has been very well loved. As you can see the scuffing on his nose there, though that can be touched up. And I love, because it is in a forest setting, I really love the style of the characters. So they've got these really, really intricate forest-inspired kind of like leaf-like armor, which is really cool. I love the detail. If you can look at that. That's beautifully done. So it's a very tiny figure to be fetching a $26 premium on eBay, and this one probably wouldn't even fetch that much with the little bit of damage on him. But yeah, that's what it is. So 2013 Ronin character from the movie Epic from the McDonald's Happy Meal toys there. That's that one right there. Look at that. Now, going on to the Disney side of my haul here, I've got this little tiny 2-inch Gaston and a little Snow White. Now, this Snow White figure, I could not find any information for. I couldn't find this exact figure on eBay. So I wonder whether or not this is actually a Dollar Tree or Dollar Store kind of figure. I checked to see whether or not there was any sort of like hole on top, which would suggest it being a keychain or a hanger, but I don't see that either. The paint job almost suggests that it might be an older figure, but I can't really be sure. So this is really neat. It might be even from a Busy Book series. I don't know. So this is a really nice Snow White. It's maybe I'd have to find the Dwarf series to sort of see whether or not it was a set of figures, but I don't have much information about that other than it being Snow White. But it is pretty cool. Now, this particular Gaston figure, I did find some similar PVC figures of this exact same pose, although the paint job on this is a little bit cheaply done. You can just sort of see the dotting in the eyes there without any whites in the eye there. The paint scheme isn't terrible, but and it's not overly detailed as far as the material is concerned. It's very smooth, very little wrinkling in the clothing. So it suggests that this was also a cheaper figure, and this smaller base here suggests that it might have actually sat on something like a bigger stand or a play set. But yeah, similar figures like this, believe it or not, are fetching like, well, bigger figures anyway. Like 4-inch version of this is fetching about $40, believe it or not. Some individual figures that I've seen here, some really tiny ones here, still fetching about $30, which is really crazy. I'm not sure if this particular style or version of Gaston would be worth much at all, because I think it is incomplete without the base, but it is a really neat Beauty and the Beast figure. I love that this is from the original animated movie versus the live action movie that was released not too long ago. But a very nice Gaston figure for my Disney my Disney collection for sure. There he is. Obviously, we have to conclude the haul with the Cinderella figures on the right here. I'm going to start off with Anastasia and Drizella, the very prim and proper stepsisters that really don't like Cinderella very much. And these two are obviously ready to go to the ball, and also slighting Cinderella quite often in the movie. Now, this particular 3.5-inch PVC figure, it's described as a figure. It's also described as a cake topper. I'm not sure which one it would be, but it is in fairly good condition. I saw this exact same figure on eBay for $18.78 plus $21 shipping. So that's $40, almost $40 for this one figure, which is crazy. Again, there is no articulation. This is a molded figure, but it is fairly well done. The paint scheme, the paint job is not too bad. You can even see the individual eyelashes that were painted in there, which is kind of neat. There are some, nice general folds in the clothing. It's not overly articulated via McFarlane kind of style, but this one's a much more detailed figure than maybe the Gaston or even the Snow White one. So it helps that it's a bigger figure, but it's got a fairly nice weight to it, and it's made of very nice plastic. So a really cool Anastasia and Drizella figure right there. If we go on to our little mice here, we've got, I love this one. This one is Gus as the Royal Escort mouse, and you can sort of see him in his awesome little uniform after Cinderella is, transformed into her beautiful white gown and such, and he's the little escort in her coach. So Gus actually fetches again a $30 premium just for him. And it is described as a PVC figure. It's also described as a cake topper. I'm not sure if it is. This one I'm just noticing now, it's actually missing his red nose, which is too bad. But so this one wouldn't fetch nearly that much on eBay if I tried reselling it. But and I won't on eBay. In fact, I want to grow my Disney collection more and more with these neat cake topper PVC figures, because they are just so well done. So it's been well loved, though. You can sort of see a little bit of wear and tear on the detailing on the front here. The nose is missing, which I just noticed now, and but it is overall still a really cute figure. So that's Gus the Royal Escort right there. Now, and of course, we've got the two mice on the thimble, admiring Cinderella as she gets ready for the ball here. The Gus again, and this is Jack, right? So on the spool, again, another considered a cake topper toy. This one is fetching a $36 premium on eBay, which is really hard to believe. But this one, I love the detailing in, that you can see the sort of the individual, quote unquote, individual threads going around the spool. I love how Jack and Gus are just posed on this beautiful thimble, and really just a really nice display figure. So that's an awesome depiction of them. Look at that. Very cool. Very cute. And of course, the belle of the ball here, we've got Cinderella with her beautiful dress here, and the nice little, I love that extra lace or whatever underneath the dress. That's really beautiful. This has been well loved. As you can see, she's a little bit marked up with pen. I might be able to clean that up, but I'm a little worried about removing the original paint from it. So she looks a little bit scary in this one, but she is still in fairly good condition otherwise. Again, there is no articulation in these PVC figures. They're strictly for display, but I found this exact same figure on eBay for about $29 shipped, which is crazy. The ones I've seen were of different colors, though. This is the more of the big ballroom one, where she's in this beautiful silvery white dress. But I've seen exactly the same pose in other characters with her in a more the bluey dress, which is interesting. So I'm not sure if this is the exact same one that I priced out on eBay, but I'm sure similar figures are about the same premium. So again, about a $29 premium for Cinderella to finish off this wonderful haul from Value Village. Look at that. So this is Richard from Richard's Corner, signing off for this awesome haul reveal with items found from my friends over the Value Villages here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. A really nice mix of figures here, from the retro-looking Batman and Transformers and TMNT, to Talking Tom, Sing, Epic, a few generic figures, and then obviously the Disney figures being my chases for today. I hope you enjoyed the reveal. I really enjoyed sharing it with you and sort of gaining a little bit more knowledge and sort of sharing a little bit of info to put a little bit more context that these toys are not just toys. For me, that I like the story behind them. I like the stories that they represent, and or the stories that they can represent in the hands of the right little child or whoever that would enjoy them on a different level. So I hope you will continue to come back. Please hit like and subscribe so that you know what is new and happening here at Richard's Corner. Please also make sure to hit that little bell icon so that you're always notified when something new is uploaded here. I wish you happy hunting and happy collecting, and I hope that all of your finds, thrifty or otherwise, are equally awesome. Please stay tuned for the next video. I so appreciate your visit today, guys, and we will see you next time. Thanks again for visiting Richard's Corner.